thanks to the Masterton District Council for their continued...
Well, good evening. It's ReCooper8 on 92.7 FM with me, Lucy the Fringe Cooper, and Katie the fabulous Habit.
A hard habit to break. I'm back.
Oh my God.
I'm
and
back.
You have started on such great form. This is so good to have you here.
Thanks, mate.
I've been really lonely.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But you've been telling me about your fringe. That's good.
I'm a lippy. This is benefit. Apparently they don't do this anymore, you were telling me.
No.
It came with a lip liner, like attached, like all in one lip liner. But I just thought it was like, do I want to be dark red or...
No. That's why the concept didn't work.
I'm such a
That's why they
beginner.
don't make it anymore, because people didn't understand.
Oh, it's a shame, because they're lovely lipsticks. They stay on all day,
They do.
especially if you reapply.
They've got staying power.
They do. And staining power.
Staining
I
power.
now leave marks. If I was to ever get disappeared, you know, you could put together a series of clues just from what I'd drunk and where. If they were to do DNA analysis.
Who you've kissed.
That's right. That's a list of about 3 people. And I'm related to all of them. Absolutely certain. We're a bit giddy tonight, aren't we?
We are.
Because you're back.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
And also, this is the last show for a while, isn't it?
Yes. Where are you going, Lucy? Tell us what you're doing.
I'm going on an extended tour of Europe, you know, like the Victorians?
Yes, the Grand Tour.
The Grand Tour.
Yes.
We're taking in Bangkok.
Are you taking your Baedeker?
I am taking my Baedeker and 2 children and a husband.
Oh.
I better return with all
And a
those
leather
things.
case.
And wouldn't that be nice? A trunk.
trunk.
I had a trunk when I was at boarding school. It was great. I love my trunk. And my mum bought me a proper big trunk, blue it was, with kind of black straps and brass, you know.
buckles.
Yeah, and then I had a little tuck trunk, which was like a mini trunk.
For food.
For food.
Tuck trunk.
And do you know what else my mum did? So I went to a boarding school and I went to a boarding school and it was my choice to go and we weren't sure if I was going to like it. So my mum packed me like an escape pack.
Oh.
And it was an ordnance survey map. I think like a travel card because we were on the tube system. The school was near a tube. Some money.
That is so awesome.
Oh, it was amazing. And I do have a really distinct memory. The school is pretty incredible. You can go online and have a look. It's called the Rickmansworth Masonic School for Girls. And it's a very elaborate kind of suite of buildings. And
is it in a Masonic shape?
Yeah, there is some Masonic stuff going on in there. So the main school building is like a really long rectangle, and then the houses that we all lived in go round in like a horseshoe.
Yeah.
It was called the Garth. And at certain times of the year, the sun would set through the centre arch of that.
Wow.
And light up the hexagonal library.
Oh my gosh.
It was like Hogwarts light.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. And so I do remember, I was in Moira House. I think there was a third house around, going clockwise, and I would sit out there, and I could see quite a busy road from the school. The school was all in the Greenbelt. It was beautiful. But at night, because of course the school year starts in September, so the nights would have been getting shorter.
Yeah.
And I remember we'd had tea and we'd done prep and all that, and I was probably drinking a hot chocolate in the common room, and I remember looking out the window and could see these cars kind of driving on the road. It was a bit rainy, and I was really, really homesick, like just because I thought, I might well up actually. Thought all those cars could be going in the direction of where I live.
Yeah.
But I got through. It was a tough, those first 3 weeks, because also we had exeat, so you could go. I was full boarder. Sorry, I don't know.
What's exeat?
It's like a weekend.
Oh.
It's Latin for
release.
Fun at the weekend.
Weekend release.
Yeah, so before they invented the word weekend, or even the concept, the Latins had come up with exeat, and so it was a
Latins.
The Latins.
You're awful, Miriam.
There are people, aren't they? The Latins. I mean, Romans.
Whatever.
It was. But, and I've just sworn, so I'm not going well at all. So where was I going with this? Exeat. So the first exeat didn't happen for like ages. It was meant to be every 3 weeks, but for some reason the first one didn't happen for new kids for quite some time. You couldn't go home for the first exeat. You had to wait for the second one.
Yeah, they probably keep you back if you're
Blooded.
first timer.
Yeah, that's right. I remember my mum coming to visit for the first exeat, But I also remember, and and this is good because my memory is pretty shocking at the best of times. I do remember waking my first morning at boarding school and waking up in this big dormitory and just thinking, what the heck? Where am I? Oh, I remember. I'm at school because they had lovely, tall, slim windows. So it was, built to let the light in. And the curtains, I can't remember what colour they were, but they weren't like blackout curtains. And I just remember waking up thinking, oh my God, where am I? And then it was the best 8 years of my life. Not quite. I mean, I've had better, I've had other years. It was good.
Formative.
Yeah, it was very formative. I'm just going to take a slurp of tea. Hang on.
Were there any grueling teachers?
There were not grueling teachers, and my house mistress, Betty Watkinson, she's recently died. She was incredible. The teachers were all amazing. My favourite English teacher of all time, Miss Auburn, Alice Auburn. Now Phillips, she runs a big school somewhere near Guildford. They were incredible. What I do remember is difficult fellow students. Quite a few dominating characters. So third year, I don't know if you're still around, Miss Salt, but Tammy Salt kind of took me under her wing. She was older than me, and we did everything together, and she was quite a dominating presence. And I think I must have told my mum or somebody that, I couldn't really get away from her. So Miss Watkinson then went into hyperdrive and made me the busiest girl in the school. I was doing flute, I was doing tennis, I was doing hockey, I was doing swimming, I was...
Debate.
Oh, I did debating. Oh, I did all that. Well, and I think it was because of that. So it was around third year, I guess. And I was head girl eventually. But I think that really did kind of get me out of trouble. Yeah.
That sounds cool.
We weren't going to talk about any of that.
No.
I'm just waiting for Facebook Live to start, but it's not started, I don't think. But you can let us know. Is Facebook Live started out there, people? Is anyone listening? Anyone? I hope so. I can always put it on manually. Bueller. That is a great film, isn't it?
Bueller.
Katie, you've been watching some interesting material.
Oh, I've been watching Chernobyl.
And what channel is that on?
It's on... What's it on? It's on Neon, which is Sky's pay-per-view package, I think.
Right. Like a poor man's Sky.
Yeah. And if you don't want all the sport and all the other nonsense, just get Neon, and then it's movies and television.
Okay.
But it's, I mean, we all know what happened, but it's amazing. It is incredible. The production values are incredible, and the story and the people are incredible. But
is it in Russian?
No, they made a conscious decision. They're all English actors.
Right.
And they're all speaking in their own accents. And so for the first episode, it's quite off-putting.
Right, yeah.
It takes a while to get used to, but once you've got used to it, it's fine.
Yeah.
But they're all speaking in their own native English regional accents.
Okay.
But it's really good.
A bit like, was it that Stalin film, the Armando Iannucci, where they all kept their regional accents they were all playing. Yeah. So, grueling in, do you see a lot of the...
You see a lot of the radioactive damage, illness.
Right.
And the scenes where they eventually start to evacuate Pripyat. I don't know if I've said that right.
Yeah.
The city that was closest to the reactor, and a lot of the behind the scenes KGB stuff is all quite interesting, and apparently there's some characters who there's real life people that were like the Legasov, the chemist who goes there to save everybody, basically. He was real.
Right.
And a lot of the military people were real, but there's a couple of invented characters for the sake of the story, but it's just incredible. It's compelling, but it's grueling. It's grueling to watch. And I thought, because when I grew up, the nuclear panic was... I felt quite frightened by it when I was a young teenager, like 12, 13, I remember. Yeah. Because 86 it happened, so I was 10. Yeah. But I do remember feeling a lot of worry about nuclear war, and so I wasn't sure that I could watch it. And the first episode, I thought, I'm not going to get through this because it's intense. But I did go. It's 5 episodes, and it's Yeah, it's...
And were there some real acts of heroism then going on in that time?
They say at the end, the official Russian death toll of the government was saying 31 people died, but the actual death toll is closer to 94,000 people. But they've never kept, the Russian government of the time never kept records of all the, the birth defects and the rising cancer rates in all the surrounding countries like Belarus and Ukraine. But there's some incredible people, and to get a look behind the Iron Curtain, and the way that people just, that was what you had to do. You just went in and did it, and they're all like just stoic. Incredible.
Wow, I do remember it very distinctly. And I think, now I might have this wrong, I was reading BBC News website the other day, and apparently at that same time there was another massive disaster, or I might have been getting my disasters mixed up, but in Russia this huge train explosion happened around the same time, but never got reported because there was so much other stuff going on. I'll have to dig it out again, because once again I have started a story with no details. And we're just having to fill in the gaps, which is rubbish. But it does sound interesting. I don't know whether I could hack Chernobyl at the minute.
You have to be prepared for some shocking scenes. There's some shocking content.
Are there actors, well-known actors that I'd recognise?
Oh God, no, I can't remember his name. The man who plays Legasov, the main Russian scientist, is...
Could we Google?
I have to Google.
Yeah, let's
Google. I can't remember his name. He's by the way, Jared Harris. Richard Harris's son. Incredible. From Mad Men.
Yes.
Incredible actor. He's incredible. And I should have known all these people, shouldn't I?
That's all right. Well, we put
Stellan Skarsgård. Who is incredible.
I like his dad.
Yeah.
For his art.
His dad?
No.
That's the son. This is the father.
No, that's who I like. I like the father.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mr. Skarsgård.
Yeah. He's in it. And who else? Can't remember. Isn't that terrible?
That's all right. I think our memories are going, aren't they?
I think they are.
Basically, we're getting on in years. So,
Emily Watson.
Oh gosh, don't seem to see her much in anything anymore.
Yeah, but she's an incredible character actor.
Yeah, she'd be good.
Yeah, they're all amazing. So I kind of recommend it.
Okay,
if you think you can handle it.
Strong constitution required. Yeah. Okay. Just as an antidote to Chernobyl, maybe what people could do is maybe watch an episode of Chernobyl and then watch Can You Ever Forgive Me with Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant.
Yes.
He was
up for Oscar, wasn't he?
He was. He didn't get it, but he was so excited to be nominated.
Did you follow his journey?
I did. He was so delicious,
funny.
isn't he?
Yeah, he was so happy.
But and I've actually, so I'll start from the beginning. So it's about a writer who actually lived called Lee Israel, who was... Her star was very much in the descendant, and she was struggling to pay the rent. The film opens with her, Melissa McCarthy, by the way. What an incredible actress! I knew I liked her, and I knew she was funny, but she has got the chops. She's pretty fabulous. So she plays. The film opens with her getting kind of booted out of her job for not being a particularly nice person to work with.
Is she an alcoholic? Yeah,
you see her drinking a lot of scotch, which made me a bit thirsty, and she drinks it well and with a lot of ice. It's just, she's fabulous. She's good at drinking, and so is Richard E. Grant as well in the film. And so then her cat gets sick, and it's all not going well for her. And she goes to a party hosted by her publisher, and there is a much more famous male writer who's kind of wah-wahing on about how marvellous he is, and clearly he's going out there and giving it all the jazz, and she's kind of just wants to write a book about Fanny Bryce. Nobody wants to read a book about Fanny Bryce, she keeps getting told. So things are getting really difficult for her, and then she accidentally falls upon the craft of, and I'm not giving anything away because it's all on the back of the DVD if they still existed. But she gets the idea through some happenstance that maybe she could forge the letters of famous people and pass them off as genuine, because she is a great writer and she could adopt these voices. Noel Coward, a whole bunch of other people I can't remember. Geez. You get the idea, though. It's not just all about Noel Coward. Then Richard E. Grant comes onto the scene to kind of facilitate.
Oh, he probably felicitates when he acts. He's
absolutely.
So joyous, isn't he?
He's brilliant. And it's just wonderful. It's a real roller coaster ride in a very kind of heartfelt, emotional way. You feel really desperately for Lee Israel, even though she is a cow. She's just horrible to everybody she meets. But, you feel like tucked under there is a nice person waiting to get out. Anyway, she was arrested by the FBI for her crimes and went on to write a book about her relationship with the Richard E. Grant character. And so I've just ordered that as well, because I just love the story, and if she's as good a writer as she comes across in the film. But it's genuinely funny. Also, you will shed a little bit of a tear because you fall in love with these characters, and I think we all see the struggle that she was under, and the choices she made weren't great ones, but she was good at writing, and that's what she remained proud of the work, even though it was fraudulent. Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. Should we play some music?
Let's do that.
Facebook Live is working, by the way.
Oh, great.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Lippy, fringe. Cardigan.
Oh, yes.
We're looking so fabulous. And lovely piece of jewellery going on there.
Yes. That's, the name escapes me, of course.
Tune in at 8 o'clock to listen to two middle-aged ladies who can't remember a thing.
Let's have I'm So Tired.
Oh, that's a great idea. Hang on. Oh, do you know what's going to happen? I'm going to have to go via WhatsApp. Hang on. Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. We've got some guests coming up, haven't we, Katie?
We have. We've got Becky Bateman, the beautiful and lovely Becky Bateman, who's coming to us live this evening from the Wine Bank in Martborough.
That's right.
And she'll be talking to us about what we can see in the night sky. And we've all know that this time of year is Matariki. Mm-hmm. So we had a wonderful Matariki celebration, actually, at Greytown School.
We did. It was so warm.
It was.
Wasn't it weirdly? Because
that time last year, there was ice on the ground.
And it was so cold, and all the kids were so cold and miserable. But yeah, it was a beautiful celebration, wasn't it?
Lovely.
We do it at the end of the school grounds, which has got the Matariki garden, and then there's two pool that the year 8s walk through.
They walk through to symbolise their next journey onto college, which made us all shed a tear.
Oh, didn't it?
Well, it will be like when our own children are.
Oh my God, sharp. Well, I'm just going to be a wreck.
Yeah.
I am going to be a wreck, and I'm going to be proud. Yeah. And I'm going to wear my most runny mascara.
Don't they benefit then? Their products don't.
No, that's right. You're right. You have to really rub your eyes in a tired, exhausted, exasperated way. Yeah. So I'm so tired.
Yeah, I'm so tired.
All right, let's do it. Thanks for listening,
this is
everybody.
Troy Sivan.
Okay. You guys are amazing. We love you, and we have got proper guests coming up shortly. And maybe those guests have got a better memory than me and Katie. Okay, here we go.
I'm so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Whoa. So tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Whoa. Party, trying my best to meet somebody, but everybody around me's falling in love to our song. Yeah, hate it, taking a shot 'cause I can't take it, but I don't think that they make anything that strong, so I hold on. Yeah, I'm so tired of love songs, heaven, lost in the sound. Buzzcut season, like you're still around. Can't unmiss you, and I need you now. Yeah, yeah. I'm so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Oh, so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Oh, I'm so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Oh, so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Oh.
Hi. It was a bit of a shock. We came back all of a hurry. Just in case you're wondering how many Lindor balls can you eat in a song break?
Have you had 2 already?
It's two. The hazelnut one and the non-hazelnut one. Oh, now we're up to 7 watches.
Oh, great.
Which is lovely,
I
isn't
think you should watch that.
My mum's given us no, you're right. Mum's given us a heart.
I don't think that's going to lead us to a good place.
No, I don't think so either. Welcome back. You're listening to ReCooper8 with me, Lucy Cooper. I've gone a bit hot. I'm glad the diffusers are on the lights because otherwise I'd look slightly beetrooty. And Katie Abbott. Katie and Lucy are back in the room. We're going to talk books now in the 8 minutes that we don't have a guest. So I've been really struggling with my reading. I hadn't been able to concentrate. I was getting halfway through books and then giving them up.
Yeah.
And I recently did that to a book I revisited. So I used to be a huge Iris Murdoch fan.
Oh, yes.
And so The Black Prince was a formative book for all the wrong reasons, didn't lead me into any good behaviours. And so I got that back out of the library and I started reading it again. It was just such hard work. So I was a bit disappointed about that. I've always loved historical biography, and then on the BBC again, and you know, I do other things in my day other than surf the internet and read BBC articles, but I'd read this incredible article about this character called Gentleman Jack, Anne Lister, who'd lived in the mid-1800s. And there was a really excellent kind of long-form story on the BBC, and I thought, wow, she sounds amazing. And then I found out that it was going to be a TV programme with Saran Jones,
yes,
Dr. Foster fame, and other works. And so then I thought, oh, sorry, I'm just going to get the book. So here's the book. Gentleman Jack, a biography of Anne Lister, written by a German academic, translated. But you would never know. Now, I've read a lot of historical biographies. I'm going to throw this book at you in a minute. I read a lot of biographies. I didn't know. I saw it at the back. It said translated by Katie Derbyshire. I thought, no, she would have, I don't know, maybe just had an oversight just to make sure she hadn't put any Germanisms. But no, properly translated. Incredible. So Anne Lister, she was an entrepreneur. She was a landowner. She was kind of gentry, lived in Halifax being quite conservative at that time, in a time that was extremely conservative. And she was gay. She was a lesbian at a time when that really wasn't the done thing. But interesting, I learned quite a lot about the book is incredible in that it gave me this kind of context. So yeah. Ooh. The Victorians placed a huge currency on virginity, on female virginity, to the point that they would actively encourage girls to spend an awful lot of time together. So if you went to your friend's house to stay for 3 months, like they often did, they didn't ever go just for a weekend. Yeah. You'd sleep in the same bed as your best friend, because their feeling is that if you were in bed with your best friend, nothing could happen. Nothing's happening here. We're all good. Just, reading poems. But no, quite a few young ladies were,
At what age?
Oh,
would that have been?
Well, I guess once you started becoming marriageable, so 9. I made that up.
It's not too far off, mate.
No, I don't think so.
Because the intensities of girls' friendships,
Yeah.
apart from the fact, of whatever your sexual proclivities were, they're intense. Your first friendships as a girl are intense.
That's right. And yeah, definitely. All the passions that you experience with your first, if you do end up being heterosexual, it's, similar kind of patterns of behaviour, definitely.
Yeah.
So Anne Lister was able to kind of get away with, she had a hefty, active, healthy sex life. She got through the ladies, no doubt about it, and she was determined. She was incredibly charismatic. She was very bright. She was very clever. She knew how to manipulate the system so she got what she wanted, which was women at vast quantities. And she was just groundbreaking in so many ways. And the book does a really good... And this is the other thing, is she wrote 26 volumes of diary, much of it in code, after one of her most serious lovers got married and her husband opened one of Anne's letters where she kind of describes in quite prolific detail what she'd like to do to said wife. And so he put a stop to their friendship. So she started to write her diaries and letters in code. And like a really extensive code. It took quite a long time to break. The first one to kind of come across her diaries was a male relative of hers, I think in the 1920s. He found the
hid it away, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He hid them all behind some panels in a building. Yeah. But so he started to decipher, him and a colleague of his started to decipher the code and realised what it was all about, and then hastily boarded the diaries up behind some panels. But now what that writer does, what's her name?
Angela Steedler.
Angela Steedler. She doesn't do any of the translating of the diaries. She just uses the previous 5 scholarly kind of interpretations of those diaries to kind of pull together a really comprehensive, really nicely written kind of digest of her life, using lots and lots of detail from the diary, because she was obsessive about writing her diary. To the point where it did kind of interfere with her life towards the end. But she was a huge traveller. She was travelling. She was the first one to climb a particular peak in somewhere in Europe, and never got attributed with that, but was made damn sure that there was kind of written evidence that she was the first one. Just an amazing woman. And we have been watching Gentleman Jack on television through various means, and bloody brilliant. And Saran Jones she's so charismatic, this big smile, and you just think, oh yeah, I can see why everybody fell for her. She was also a really interesting dresser. So back in those days, the Victorian fashion was for these ridiculously big sleeves, ridiculously big skirts, the hair. Yeah. She dressed in black.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, all the time. And I don't know how close to actuality they are dressing Saran Jones, but really nicely tailored jackets. And she strides around the countryside. So I for a day, couldn't keep it up, strided like Anne Lister. I told Flo, I'm going out for a walk and I'm going to stride like Anne Lister. I was exhausted, and this woman was on the go all day. Yeah, so I must have cut quite a dash, I like to think, a great striding around.
Oh, that sounds fascinating.
Really good book. So if you're into historical biographies or and stories about women, fascinating women who were doing incredible things. And actually, Angela Steedler has written other books about prominent lesbian women around those times from other countries. Oh, yeah. They're still in German. They've not been translated. But if the writing is any good as that there, then I would thoroughly recommend it. Got to say, the first half of the book is probably better written than the second half. You almost get the feeling that, I don't know, Anne in the end was doing lots and lots of travelling. And so I think her diaries were starting to be a little bit of a shopping list. Right. And I think, maybe Angela kind of struggled with that a little bit. But still, a great book, beginning to end. Here ended the lesson. Did I take a breath?
No.
Did anyone hear me take a breath?
We can tell. It's been a great read for you. It
was a great read.
It looks very good. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
What's your other book?
My other book is also another woman who was living around the same time. Effie Gray was married initially to John Ruskin, the art critic, and supporter of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. Turns out he was a complete asshole. he never consummated his marriage with Effie Gray. He was more married to his parents than anything else. She struggled really hard to kind of get out of that relationship with her dignity intact. And John Ruskin, and she ends up marrying Everett Millay. Yeah. Him.
The pre-Raphaelites are my favourite.
Well, so he was Millay was firstly friends with John Ruskin, and then fell in love with Effie while he was painting her because
he used her as the model for. He painted Ophelia in the Stream.
Yes, was it? I'm not sure.
Was it her?
No, she wasn't. There are lots. St Agnes is who he used her for, and a couple of other kind of almost biblical scenes as well. But no, not Ophelia. It might have been his sister. I've not got to her sister, Sophie Gray. Oh,
because he left her in a bathtub to see what the effect of water would be on the material.
Yes,
but they had a lamp underneath the bathtub to keep the water warm, but the lamp went out and she caught a terrible chill and almost died.
That might be Sophie then. Yeah, I haven't got there yet because, all of Effie's brothers and sisters, Effie's mum had 15 children in total. Hardly any of them survived. I mean, she was losing a child every 9 months. It was heartbreaking. But she gets away from John Ruskin, who was a complete idiot. And falls for Millay, and they do eventually get married. Just really well written, not turgid, just kind of trips through. She was such a lovely woman. Again, another prolific writer, wrote lots and lots of letters. So this author has been able to, and I think the author is a Cooper.
Yes.
Just saying.
Suzanne.
She was able to kind of piece together Effie's life. But again, another groundbreaking
Is this a film
woman.
too?
No. Oh, yeah, apparently, but I don't know what the film's called.
The Scandalous Love Story in the film.
So very good. So again, as I say, if you're into historical biographies, I've got 2 for you.
Got 2?
Yeah, I do. We better call our friend.
Yes.
Do you know what? I'm going to try doing it. Through the desk.
Okay.
Just bear with me, everybody, as I... Oh, no. Do you know what? I'm going to have lost a number. No, I haven't, because that's not what happens, is it? Becky Bateman. Here she is. We're going to call Becky.
What, is the wine bank open tonight? Is that why she's there?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, because they're doing one of her stargazing.
Oh, cool.
Avec vin. That's with wine, for those who are not speaking fluent French right now. Happens to us all, darling. Right, I'm going to call her, see if this works. Is it working? It's coming through the headphones. Look at that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Technology, eh? They put a man on the moon.
The film's actually called Effie Gray.
Good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You know, usually when we call you, I'm holding up the phone to the microphone and it really hurts after a while. But I've actually taken the plunge tonight because Katie's back and I'm feeling all brave. I've plugged you into the desk and look at that. We can hear you and everything.
Amazing. Hello, Katie. Welcome
Hi,
back.
Becky.
We've
Hi,
missed
Becky.
you.
Oh, it's good to be back. How are you doing? What's happening in the wine bank?
I'm doing good. My voice is a little bit hoarse. You probably notice I haven't got my normal twang. A little bit croaky.
That's all right.
Yes, I was completely voiceless on Wednesday, so I was like, oh, I hope I get my voice back. It's quite freaky not having a voice, isn't it? It's weird.
It is weird. And then you go through that real sexy phase, which I think you've entered. Yeah. You know, the kind of husk.
Vocal fry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I love it. We love a bit of vocal fry. You can sing the blues whenever you like. Just rip out a tune. Don't be shy.
Out a tune. Yeah, anytime. Yes.
Now, you've been having an awful lot of fun this evening because the sky, dude.
I know.
Jesus, it was looking sparkly out there.
After like a week of solid rain, I come out tonight and whew, beautiful. And the night when I actually have something to do for stars, which is pretty handy. So well done them on the wine bank for organising this so far in advance that they got the only decent evening in a week. Well done them.
Clever. The power of wine.
Clever. Yeah. It's all about the wine. And I see Marty is just coming out, the owner. So if you want to talk to somebody about the evening.
Yes, I'd love to. So who are we talking to? A punter?
We are talking to Marty at the wine bank, and he's looking a bit grimacy.
Is he?
He'll be fine, yeah. He'll be good.
Okay.
I'll pass you over.
All right. Now, great. Marty.
Hi, Marty.
Hello, Lucy.
Hello, Marty. Marty, it's Lucy and Katie here to welcome you over the threshold of radio. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good indeed.
Good. Now, tell me what are you in the context of this evening? give us your backstory.
Okay, yes, I am the owner of a wine tasting rooms over here in Martinborough. And basically we thought to get the customers coming in on these cold Sunday evenings, we would look into something new. And with Martinborough being sort of nominated as a dark sky area, we thought let's combine a little bit of wine tasting and a little bit of education around the dark sky and the
wonderful
stars that we've got here.
That's great. So how many people signed up and what was the deal? What did they get for their cash?
For their cash tonight. They got a fantastic experience. They basically got a fantastic let's say, I wouldn't say lecture, that sounds like they've been sort of talked at. They got a really good introduction to the night sky here from Becky.
Right. Did she have her green laser pointer?
Yes, she certainly did. Oh,
Yeah.
you're very familiar with how she works this.
Oh, she's
Yes.
so... We talk about it at least every show.
Okay. Yeah, she had a green pointer. She basically did an introduction inside. We gave everybody a glass of port to sort of warm their cockles a little bit before she took them all outside and, went through... starting with the basics, with the good old moon, and moved on to some more sort of interesting objects up there in the sky. She had them queuing tonight. It was really fantastic. Yeah,
Brilliant.
Really
And
good to see.
did you learn? Do you know much about the night sky, Marty?
I don't know a lot, no, but it certainly sort of whet my appetite a little bit to learn more. And unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of opportunity to go out and play tonight.
Oh.
It was a busy night.
Oh,
But,
well, that's good. That's good.
it is good.
You'll be
But,
doing it
the
again?
The thing is, sorry?
You'll be doing it again then if other people would like to have the opportunity?
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer. The feedback we've got, I think we had about 30 people signed up tonight.
Oh, wow.
The feedback was excellent. Obviously, it was good promotion for our business as well. A lot of happy people. Yeah.
Well
absolutely.
done. So you own... Sorry, 'cause my hearing is terrible, and I've got my headphones turned up to thrumpty silly. But you're the owner of the wine bank, is that right?
Yes.
You are.
Yes, correct. Yes.
A fabulous concept. How did you get the idea for Wine Bank? And for those who are not familiar with it, could you tell us what that concept is? I've asked those questions in the wrong order again.
I understand what you're asking. We several years ago I went down to Queenstown. In the centre of Queenstown there's a place called the Winery, and it's a very large wine shop first and foremost, that offers the customers there an opportunity to taste the wines that they have for sale. And the way they do this, they have these fantastic Italian-made wine dispensers. They look after the wines really beautifully. It enables the operator to have a lot of wines open for a fair old amount of time without them sort of spoiling. And the beauty of the system is that they're customer-operated. So it's basically self-service wine tasting.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you'd need to see the units to really understand that a little bit better, I think. But anyway, it's a concept that we thought worked so well down in Queenstown. They sort of celebrated particularly, Central Otago wines. And I thought there was no reason why we couldn't celebrate Martinborough's wines. After several years of planning and looking for premises, we've basically copied the idea. And we have it here, and it's an opportunity particularly for smaller wineries that don't have cellar doors to showcase their wines. So
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, good on you. Well done. And so business has been good since you've opened.
It has.
Yep.
Yeah, we're only 6 months into it, just over 6 months into it. Obviously we started in the summer, so we hit the ground running, which of course is brilliant. We know that Martinborough is, it's not a 12-month a year sort of season like somewhere like Queenstown. So the winter months were always going to be, or we perceive would always be a challenge, or more of a challenge, and that's why we're looking at doing events like this.
That's great.
Mix it up a bit.
I think of all the towns in the Wairarapa, though, Martinborough does evening economy better than anybody else. I mean, I was there on Wednesday night. I went to Pinocchio's for their burger evening, and I came out and had my camera in the back of the car, so I took some photographs. But while I was doing that, I just was able to hear people enjoying just Martinborough Square, Cool Change and Martinborough Hotel. So I think, Martinborough really does seem to pack a punch when it comes to the nighttime economy. Is that something that you as business owners are you aware that that's something that's being worked on deliberately, or is it just an accident, do you think?
I think it's probably an accident, actually, yeah. I mean, the kind of places you just sort of mentioned, I mean, Cool Change and the hotel, of course, have always been sort of open till sort of later. But I mean, yes, you make me think about it now.
Thought-provoking.
Just with I mean, there's 5-6 food outlets, isn't there? Restaurants.
The cinema.
There's 4 or 5 licensed establishments in the centre. Yeah, absolutely. I would say it is quite deliberate. Yes.
Yeah, we both live in Greytown, Katie and I, and we love Greytown, but we don't do nighttime very well, do we? I mean, we've got the Top Pub, which was our sponsor, but and we love that. But I just there's something about, I don't know, the square really works for Martinborough in that you can kind of have all those businesses around to create a real sense of kind of vibrancy.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us this evening. I'm so glad you had 30 very happy and
wonderful.
Well-educated drinkers. I expect there's all sorts of drunk astronomer jokes that Becky knows, and we will mine that source.
You know what? And she handles it really, really well. I mean, it's all too obvious, isn't it? But yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Marty. If you wouldn't mind passing that phone back over to Becky, that would be marvellous. Thank you.
Thanks, Marty.
Perfect. And thank you very much.
Have a lovely evening. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you. Hello.
Oh, you picked a nice one. Well done.
I picked a nice.
You did.
Hey, he's a good one. He's a good one. He said some nice stuff.
He did say so. I think he's been really pleased because it sounds like you had a good crowd.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think it was at least over 20 people.
30.
But they're all so lovely.
Yeah.
And just, really into it and just like, oh my God, there's Jupiter. Oh my God, there's Saturn. Oh my God. So it was. And some of these people had never seen planets or anything through a telescope before, and they kind of, seeing Jupiter and Saturn. They're like, are you kidding me? That's Saturn. Yeah, that's Saturn. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And so when I was driving, I think I was out this evening, and I noticed the brightest thing next to the moon, the first thing to pop up. What is that?
That's Jupiter.
That is Jupiter, right. And you could see that through your telescope?
Yeah, you can see the stripes on Jupiter.
Wow. No way.
You can see some moons of Jupiter. Yeah. And Jupiter's about 750 million kilometres away.
So just around the corner?
Just around the corner, really. just there. But we also saw Saturn, and Saturn's about 1.5 billion kilometres away.
Oh, the numbers,
mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know, the numbers just get so big so quick.
They do. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And what else is? Because obviously it's Matariki as well. Did you talk about that group at that cluster?
Pleiades.
Not really, because they're up in the morning at the moment. So if
that's why we got up early.
You can't see it.
I'm such an amateur, Becky. I'm such an amateur.
I'm just reminding Becky, that's why we got up at 7:15 to see that.
Did you go to Greytown School?
We did. It was brilliant. It was too cloudy to actually see it, but
I got up and I was like, nah, it's cloudy. I'm going back to bed. I was like, I'm not getting up.
But that we had that choice.
Yeah.
So we can see that in the morning, and if people haven't yet spotted it, what should we be looking for, and where can they find it?
Well, you're looking pretty much where the sun rises. So Matariki rises just before the sun, so kind of in the same area of sky. So if you're looking at the horizon, you've got a nice view of the horizon. Mm-hmm. You'll see Orion's belt, and then you'll see this kind of little pointy mountain of Taurus along the horizon. And next to that, in the same line, you'll see the Matariki cluster. So it's a nice kind of, if you can see the horizon. So if you're near the sea, it's really nice. So you can see it along the sea. But yeah, it's quite easy to spot if you know where you're looking.
Right.
So kind of in the east.
Okie doke. And what else should we be looking out for?
We've got Scorpius and Sagittarius rising in the east now, so that just by Jupiter and Saturn are looking really, really nice. But the Southern Cross is always there, looking rather fabulous.
Oh yes,
just above our head. What else have you got? You've got a really lovely star called Arcturus, which is kind of in the north, and it's really easy to spot because it's kind of all on its own. But it kind of shimmers green and red and kind of white. It's really pretty.
Okay.
It's really quite obvious. It's Arcturus. It looks quite cool. And that's in the constellation of Bootes, kind of right in the north, which looks really pretty.
Booteus?
It doesn't rise. Yeah.
But did you say Booteus?
Yeah.
As in shake my booteus?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah,
I can remember. That'll be the only flipping thing I remember. The rude one.
Yeah, the rude one. I think he's called a herdsman in Greek mythology. He's come from Greek, so he's kind of a herdsman.
Right.
But Arcturus kind of marks his kind of belly button-ish.
Oh.
And it's kind of, so it's quite cool. There's some very weird stars out there. There really are.
Yeah.
Very bizarre ones.
Is there any other kind of space junk we can spot right now? Because we've got such glittery stars. Is there any, like man-made objects we should be kind of keeping our eyes peeled for?
Well, you can usually see the International Space Station. That kind of goes around the Earth every 45 minutes.
Does it really?
You get yeah.
That's
it's super fast. So you can get some really good apps to show you whereabouts you can look, because obviously you can't see it all the time.
Yeah.
But you can get some really good apps to show you where to look for the International Space Station. So that's pretty cool if you're into that kind of stuff.
Cool.
But I heard that is that Elon Musk has sent up all these little tiny satellites, hasn't he? I haven't spotted them yet.
Okay.
I don't know if they can just see them in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm not quite sure if they're in a different, in the Northern Hemisphere sky. But I'm a little bit annoyed that he's put them up, to be honest.
I read that, Becky, that he's angered some of the science and astronomy community. What's the impact of that? What's going to be?
Well, I think it's just a bit presumptuous, isn't it? Like, kind of who owns space that can actually do this stuff up there without, consulting everyone? Because it's everybody's sky.
Yeah.
And kind of all these extra, like, debris and kind of objects that are kind of taken away from the beauty of the night sky. We're just kind of cluttering up space now, aren't we? It's kind of like we feel like we've cluttered up Earth. Where can we go next? We'll all just clutter up, our atmosphere.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just is pretty annoying, because then what's next?
Yeah.
I know that there was, I think it was Pizza Hut that wanted to put their logo on the moon.
Oh.
Did you hear it? There was
No, I didn't.
Ago.
That's gross.
But can you imagine?
What is
looking up
wrong
and going,
with us? Honestly.
And it's like, why can't we just accept the beauty of the night sky rather than trying to add stuff to it and make our own little stars and things? And I'm not overly happy that he's done that, because where do you stop? So, like, do the Russians go next? Do the Chinese go next? When are we going to start having kind of just these lines of glittery objects going around the sky and kind of taking away from our beautiful night sky anyway?
Do you know what they need?
I got all cross.
Yes, they as a resource management planner, they need a dark sky spatial plan. And I'd be happy to do that for them, obviously for a fee, but I'm sure we can work something out. And
obviously, mates
totally. Yeah, that's right.
I suppose the thing is, it's not just us, is it? It's kind of everywhere. Everyone can see this stuff. So it's not just impacting your part of the sky, it's impacting the entire hemispheres, or even sometimes the entire world's view of what we can see, which I think is a little bit, kind of a bit rude, really.
Yeah, I would agree.
How many did he send up, do you know, and how long will they
it's something ridiculous, like 12,000 or something. It's an awful lot.
I thought it was just one or two.
No, so thousands. So I think eventually he wants to set up more and more and more, so that everyone in the world can get really good internet, I think is basically the gist of it. I know. So it's kind of like, are you going to be remembered for giving, African villages internet, or are you just going to be there to remember pissed off loads of astronomers?
Yeah.
To know.
Give us a high note before we say goodbye to you. How's the Dark Sky Initiative going for Martinborough? Do you know where that's at the moment?
Yeah, so it's going really good at the moment. So I went to a business kind of association AGM a couple of weeks ago, and then Lee Major was talking then and Ray Lilly about how far they've gone. They've got a really long way actually. They're talking to the NZTA, so to make sure all the street lights going up the entire, through the Wairarapa are going to be changed. So that's looking quite positive.
That's good.
What I hadn't even thought about was the lighthouses, kind of in Cape Palliser and Castle Point. So they're in negotiations talking to them about what they can do with their lights, which I hadn't even thought about.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean, those guys are onto it. They're really kind of cracking through. And at the end of this month, they're having another meeting and actually seeing where astrotourism is right now. And, they've asked me to do a little kind of talk. And it's actually, only in just a year, it's got so big already. I can't really imagine, in another year what it's going to be like. It's quite crazy, it's going so quickly, and more people are coming to these events and then telling their friends, and then another business goes, oh Becky, can we do something together? And it's just it's so awesome. It's just kind of spiraling. It's so much fun. And just getting bigger and bigger every month. It's so awesome.
Yeah, it's because you're awesome, you see.
Yeah.
Lucy, I'm blushing now. Yes, I am.
Good on you. You're our own little star. Oh, good stuff. Well done. Have you got many more of these kind of stargazy nights coming up that people could kind of check out?
Yeah, I've got a couple of schools coming up. I'm doing a really great holiday programme and Matariki fun weekend in Aratoy. I think so I'm doing a whole weekend doing a Matariki fun kind of weekend. I think that's the end of June. It'll be on their website.
Okay.
And also doing a Matariki holiday programme for the school kids during the holiday. So that'll be really super. Loads of fun. Lots of kind of art and craft and science. Going to bring my telescope. Got a few augmented reality space cards, which are super cool. Yes, that's really good. And then I've got a couple of private star parties going on as well.
Star parties.
And then Luna are going to invite me back in August, so we've put a date for the 3rd of August to have a really awesome night at Luna at the Vineyard as well. So it's all cracking along.
Well done. How do we find out about the, those holiday programmes, the kids stuff?
Yes, I would go to Aratoy, so do go onto the Aratoy website. Okay. But I'll also post them up on my Facebook page under the stars to kind of make sure people know where it is. So, but it's going to be really good. It's on Event Finder, and I think it's also in the Wellington, Matariki, what's going on in the region kind of thing. So it's on there as well. So you should be able to find it somewhere.
Excellent. Well done. Well done, you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for...
good to hear from you again.
Totally. And thank you for collaring Marty. He was game, wasn't he? He was game. Really do appreciate it. And rest your voice now. Say nothing to no one. All right? This is just between us. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you. All right, enjoy your time off.
Oh, yeah, we'll do.
I'll see you in October.
Yeah, and we'll stay in touch, via various mediums. But thank you. You've been amazing, and we're going to take a little break, and we will come back in October refreshed. Absolutely.
Have a wonderful time.
I'll
be here waiting for you.
All right. Thanks. Okay. All right then, dude. See you soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Holiday program sounds cool.
That does sound very cool. Oh, she's a good egg, isn't she? She's a good egg.
Should we have some music?
Why not? We've got a few minutes before... my sister's loving the show, by the way.
Oh, gosh.
I just love my sister.
And the film... Yeah. When you were talking about Effie Gray...
Yes.
It's a 2014 film called, funnily enough, Effie Gray. But guess who the screenplay was written by?
Don't know.
No. Emma Thompson. So I think we should watch it. It's got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my God. So why haven't we heard of it?
I don't know.
Oh, Emma Thompson, she is so hot right now, isn't she?
5 out of 10, so it might be shit.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Okay. Whatever.
We'll make up our own mind.
Well, totally. Because also, Emma Thompson... and a costume drama. What could go wrong, you know?
Sense and Sensibility is the one film that I could watch over and over again.
God,
if you had to choose one film that you'd watch for the rest of your life?
Yep. Yeah, it could be up there. That and With Nav and I.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I think probably Sense and Sensibility, you come away with a better feeling than if you watched it with Nell and I on repeat.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just logging into their playlist.
Yeah.
What would you like to play?
I'd like to play, well, this one I deliberated about putting it on because it's a pretty cheesy song.
Oh, yeah.
But I was doing a flashback of songs that I liked when I was 13.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a terrible song.
You can remember. That's pretty cool.
It's called Independent Love Song by Scarlett,
Oh,
who were
yes.
briefly around in the late 80s.
All right.
So go on then.
Okay.
It's really bad. I'm sorry,
Hang on.
everybody.
It hasn't even started. Here she goes.
It's really bad.
We'll be back shortly.
Could say this was an independent love song. It's nothing like to us what love meant to them. But that's not to say the love we have isn't big or that strong. I'm doing it a different way. I'm doing it a different way. You might say this is another boring love song, to be together and forever be true. And so today is much the same as it was then. I'm doing it a different way. I'm doing it a different way. Now it's fine that many men will look my way, and I'll take them home and let them show me the way. And sure, I like a few, but I leave the rest to play. I'm doing it a different way. I'm doing it a different way. I'm gonna show you how to take me. Go down, I'll show you how to turn me. Right on, I'll show you how to touch me. You could say this was an independent love song. It's nothing like to us what love meant to them. But that's not to say the love we have isn't good or that strong. I'm doing it a different way. I'm doing it a different way.
Hi. We've just had a bit of a giggle. Oh, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. That was special. Wasn't that a great track?
Oh my god! It was off the soundtrack to I was totally in love with Christian
Bale? No.
He was like 10.
I don't know any Christians.
Christian Slater.
Oh, God, of course. Yeah.
When he was at his teenage Epiphany Best.
A pit panny.
Epiphany, and he did this film. He did this film called Bed of Roses.
Yeah.
Where he was a widowed florist.
No, not widowed florist.
Who couldn't handle his grief, so he stopped being. Stopped being a florist, and he just made deliveries so that he could see how happy flowers made people.
Well, imagine trying to pitch that as a concept.
Anyway, I was saying to Lucy in the break that can you imagine me, like a teenage me, in my bedroom? Somebody noticed me. Somebody loved me.
I need to be loved, and I don't want to be a florist. And while she was telling me I ate another one of these, I'm not happy with myself. That's 3 in total. Count them.
God.
And there was only 2 more in the box.
5 in the box.
God's sakes. Pull ourselves together. We've got somebody to call. You're going to be all right?
Yeah,
we're going to be
I'm just going to have a bit of water.
Okay, all right. So, so lovely to have all 8 of you here with us. Honestly, classic radio that needs a bigger audience, eh? Doesn't it? All right, I'm going to find Katie's. What? No, you're here. Yeah, Charlotte.
We're going to have to do what Kermode and Mayo do.
Yeah.
And podcast all the rude bits and the naughty bits.
Yeah, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we should do that
It'd be like a 10-hour show.
Yeah.
It'd be like a marathon. I'm calling Charlotte. Are we ready? Can we do this?
Yeah.
Me. All right. Shake the sillies out. Shake the sillies out. Okay. Oh, that's a face
on
to
television.
About that. It's all to do with timing. Okay, right, I'm going to call Charlotte. Okay, you're going to be all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to call it because that could help, couldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Any minute now. Here she comes. All right.
Hello.
Hello, Charlotte Harding. We are slightly hysterical. I don't know if you've been listening, but we have kind of lost it. I think we could safely say that's what's happened. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm happy to work with chaos. It's how I roll.
I know you are a lovely lady, so you will just bear with us. But no, we've just had quite a laugh, which is nice because I love laughing. I love laughing, don't you? How do you feel about laughing?
I love it, and actually I do a lot of it when I'm in your company.
Oh, stop it. Especially when I do that dreadful accent, which now I'm a citizen I can acknowledge is probably could do better.
Yeah, it's cultural misappropriation.
It is. Well, not anymore.
Stop it. I insist you stop it. Charlotte
Harding, oh ye of many wonderful ideas and adventures and journeys, tell us about your latest, which is going off, as they say. Tell us about... Oh dear. Honestly, Katie is helpless right now. Tell us about tea and a slice of life. I have to do it in a northern accent. Is that all right? Probably not.
It's fine, my lovely.
Okay, good.
Tea with a slice of life.
Yes.
Well, it has come... it has come about... obviously, I have a little vintage crockery business called Alice's Tea Party, and I hadn't really been putting much energy into that, and I was wondering why it wasn't really working, and then I realised, and that sort of took a back burner, and it was just in the background, but obviously I've been going on my own personal journey that I've talked to you about before,
yes,
and just working a few things out, and then when I'd created some space and I'd got some energy and I was starting to feel really good about things, I sort of came around and revisited Alice's Tea Party, and then it dawned on me that actually what I love about Alice's Tea Party has always been about connecting with people and collaborating and sort of creating really cool connections. But they were always not usually going to benefit me. They were going to benefit others. And with the things that I've been doing myself, it dawned on me that a big passion of mine is connection and talking to amazing women like your good selves and finding out their stories and their journeys. And so I suddenly thought, why don't I put these two passions together and add some pretty vintage cups and some amazing cake by the lovely Sarah at Phenom and combine everything in a way that I get involved with and facilitate, and hopefully other women will come and embrace what I'm trying to do and go on the journey with me. And it was just literally about creating some connections, creating magic. There's so many amazing women. Obviously, I'm in Martinborough. There's amazing women doing amazing things, and that's, I think, across the Wairarapa as a whole, to be honest. Across the world as a whole. This is just the start. But definitely I come across so many women doing amazing things, mums that are reinventing themselves or looking to reinvent themselves. And so it was a case of, I didn't necessarily just want to target business people. I sort of wanted to put the net open just as a connecting group. And so I took a leap of faith. I'd hired a space and I'd made an invite. And it sort of got stuck there because I was feeling doubt creep in. But then eventually one Saturday morning, I just hit send and sent this invitation out to all the people I sort of knew, so as a safety net. And last month, I hosted my first Tea with a Slice of Life event. And 11 lovely ladies joined me, not really knowing what they were getting into, I suppose. But just the invitation to a chance to connect and have some tea and cake, which was always going to be a winner, nothing else. And so we all got together and I sort of told the story of why this had come about and sort of just shared my story. And that really resonated and the feedback was really good. Everybody just loved connecting. I introduced everybody around the table. And so it was a chance for people to, they might know this person, but they didn't know what they did. And then they could just, it was just like a round table discussion. And I sort of asked for really sort of honest feedback, and the feedback was amazing. And what stemmed from that was that it was sort of a nice blend of potentially business, networking, as well as well-being. And that there was a real deep sense of, you have to look after yourself. You've got to keep on top of checking in on yourself and nurturing yourself, because without that you fall down, you get burnt out, and that ripples through life. So you can't, everything else has a knock-on effect. Yeah. So, if we're all going to conquer the world, we've all got to look after ourselves. So it was about sort of bringing that sense of the blend in, because everything does, as women, we're all spinning so many plates and we load them up a bit too high at times, and it's about just stopping, taking a breath, coming together and connecting and celebrating, and maybe finding somebody that you can create magic with and do something. And there might just be those lovely connections that people find, that people that they can go and take that connection on and do something magical with. So that's kind of why I'm doing it. And from that, quite magically, it all just sort of escalated in that I've got speakers lined up for the next 4 meetings, which is kind of exciting and like scary at the same time. And it seems as if I've just tapped into something at the right time. And upcoming event on the 25th of June is our second one, with a whole new group of people that seem to be booking places to come and enjoy the meeting. So that's it in a nutshell.
And what a beautiful nutshell. Very wonderful kind of introduction to the journey, really, from one business idea to another. And I mean, I've known you, how long have I known you now? Must be a few years, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah,
a little while now.
Yeah, and what I've always admired about you is your ability to kind of take stock and think things through, and I know that's, me and you have talked about those kind of, that kind of Well, I know that you're very interested as well in mindset as well, and kind of how using a mindset that is useful to you in order to continue to springboard from one thing to another, and not to get too bogged down in kind of a negative space. And I know that's a difficult journey, and it's all mixed up in that kind of well-being and looking after you thing. But that's had you kind of with the Alice's tea parties? Sorry, this is a long question. God, no, I really am. I'm not doing very well here, Charlotte. But Alice's tea parties, you kind of sense that it probably wasn't doing what you wanted it to do, but you weren't ready to give it up. Is that right? Would that be a way of?
That is right. Yeah, I'd sort of. I didn't want it to be seen, and this is a personal thing, as a failure. Like sort of to have let it go, and that would have been quite a challenge for me, just because in this journey I've realised, sort of failing is such a big thing that I've got a big hold up about, and it wouldn't have failed. It would have been something that just hadn't worked, and that would have been for a myriad of reasons, and I could actually see that with some space and clarity and understanding how that was. But all of a sudden it was just actually Alice's Tea Party. I came up with the idea 10 years ago, and I'm quite a different person than I was 10 years ago. So all the things I'd set Alice's Tea Party up to do weren't really relevant anymore, and my life's changed so much that actually it was valid that it needed to go through a rejuvenation process, because I've had to evolve and change, and my life's evolved and changed so much. And so it needed to work for me, and it needed to work on new terms. So that's kind of why that came from. And I had to go, do I flick it or do I rebirth it? And I decided that no, I won't. There's something there still. And that's when it all started to sort of quite quickly formulate in front of me of maybe this could work. And it feels like I have actually hit a nail on the head.
Yeah, totally. And in that first gathering of those 11 people, were there kind of some common themes coming up in the things that people were talking about, or was there?
No, it was all total randomness.
Love it.
Which is what I love.
Yeah, totally.
No, not really. I think it's sort of. I suppose I sort of was quite honest, and so it gave people the space to be quite honest and nod their heads and realise. But it was a real mix. It was people in business. It was mums. It was just a real mix of people that are juggling different jobs, enterprises of their own. And that was what was so lovely about it, because I think women in general connect. We're all trying to juggle so many things, and so there is always connection, and sometimes. And I love bringing different groups of people together. I love connecting people that may not have just ever had anything to do with that person, or may have seen them across the street, or been on the school run and waved your hand, but not had the chance to. Is that what you do? So it was lovely to introduce people, which will be interesting in the next one, where it's sort of that's broadening the nest, and I don't necessarily know all the people that are coming. So to create that same.
Make it interesting,
will be quite interesting, and I'll just have to think about that a little bit. But I am also a big believer in letting things happen, and that it will naturally fall into place. So.
Yeah, because it takes courage as well, doesn't it, to kind of meet people, and sometimes I feel more equipped than other days, to do that. So creating that kind of lovely environment with the tea and the cake and the nice crockery, and and just making that warm space, because you are
safe space.
Which is one of your many talents, is to just make it easy for people to kind of feel at ease and comfortable. So it's lovely that you're using that skill probably to more effect than you were doing with Alice's Tea Parties. Would you say?
Yes, agree, because obviously Alice's Tea Party was very much a sort of having the offering and then giving it to people and trying to hand a magical parcel to somebody to use for themselves, but that wasn't but then obviously I wasn't involved, and it was up to people, and you'd got the image in your head, whereas now I have more control, I guess, over what the outcome is. But obviously the variable is all of the people in the room, but then that's also part of the magic. So
I think it's tremendous.
Can you give us a sneak peek of who are the speakers that you've got lined up, or is that State
No,
secret.
I can.
Yeah?
Certainly can. In the June event, I have the lovely Meg Melvin, who I actually have our link has come about through this radio show.
Yes.
That's right. Yes. I love that.
So
See,
that's
we made
magical.
a connection.
So that's the circle of love. So she obviously sketched my first interview back in December and November. And I was just so blown away by her skill and what she does. I contacted her not long after, and we've been working together a little bit. And so she's sort of been helping formulate sort of where I was heading with Alice's Tea Party. And so she's coming along to teach people how to do some like brain mapping, brain dump things down, and sketch mapping of ideas. And so that's this month, which I think will just be a lot of fun, because I think what she can bring and enable you as a visual can be really quite special. And I'm a visual person, so having that clarity sometimes when you just things mixing in your head. I've also approached the lovely Mary Claire from 3 Mile.
Oh, yes. We've interviewed her too.
Yes.
Interesting lady with just, sort of, I don't know her really well, but I know of her, and just an amazing background and some of the things she's done. The lovely Jo Kempton is keen to come and speak.
We've interviewed her as well.
I'm sensing a theme.
And I've also had a lady, Julie, I know her surname escapes me, but she actually called me after seeing my advert for the second Tea with a Slice of Life. And obviously how I presented that really resonated with her. I just posted it on Wairarapa Women in Business. And she called me, and she's gone on her own journey. She'd been a teacher for 20 years, like children, burnout, and in a similar vein has sort of had to take stock and think, no, there's got to be a better way, and has stopped and has thought life through and has changed dramatically, and has gone on her own journey and set up a business and got involved in a business. And so she was just wanting to come and share her story, so which in essence is exactly what I wanted to do. I was hoping that people would feel that way, but it's hard to say, hey, come and chat, come and tell your story, because not everybody wants to do that. But it obviously does speak to some people, in as much as they do want to share and feel in that space where, although you're in a vulnerable space, you feel safe enough to get up there and share, and that's what it was about. So that was good.
So if people want to kind of join one of these sessions, how do they go about it?
I'm currently predominantly on Facebook.
Okay.
So Alice's Tea Party, and sort of still going through the Alice's Tea Party branch.
Okay.
So on Facebook, or contact me in many other ways. But predominantly Facebook. And I've also, because it's from the first session, we also set up a Facebook group called Tea with a Slice of Life.
Oh,
so
great.
There is a special group for anybody who's been tapped into as well, so everything's on there.
Wonderful. Well done. I think it's lovely to see that kind of how something can transform, an existing thing that you're working with, and you transform. Yeah, totally. I think it's incredible. And it's interesting, on the way up in the car to the station, we were talking a little bit about burnout, weren't we? And I am really conscious, so there's a bit of an apology really to people. I've been really conscious that both with my hoops business and with my radio, with this radio program, I probably haven't been as engaged with doing it properly as I should have. I know once I get here it's going to be a laugh and we have a lot of fun, but I almost get a fear of doing anything proactive, like contacting a guest. So I've been doing a bit of reading around burnout, and there's some echoing of some of those symptoms. I just have, so obviously I'm going away for a long extended break, which I think is great, but I was saying to Katie, if I wasn't going anywhere, I think so going abroad for 3 months has kind of taken the pressure off me having to think about whether I would have I should have done.
Yeah.
But I think now I've become quite familiar with this sensation, and it's not, I'm usually quite a proactive person. I like to think, I can get stuff organised, and I can get it organised ahead of time. I am capable of doing that. But it's almost as if my body has had enough of doing that. And I can't make my brain do it anymore. So I think, in future, I think I will listen to that a little bit more, and does any of that echo with kind of anything?
Totally.
Good.
Totally. Yeah. No, I'm getting what you're saying. No, because I think it's all about, and that's what I say a lot, it's about being aware of the signals that you're being shown by your body. But a lot of the time you just keep going. But at some point then that all catches up when you're not sleeping or you're waking up because you're thinking of a million things. Yeah. I tend to be exactly like that. I get to a stage where I'm in a bit of overwhelm, but I can't actually do anything. So I sort of freeze. There's a million things I need to achieve, but then I freeze and I go into this frenzy. Yes. And instead of doing just one thing at a time, I just don't do anything. And then it creates this vicious cycle that you're not sleeping well. And then, like I said the other day to some people, and then I've realised now, and I can now look back and see that I do this. I don't even eat, so I can go a whole day and think, and it's just those basics, the basics of sleeping and eating and eating good food as well. I can grab a chocolate bar or a packet of crisps, but I'm not feeding myself decent, nutritious food to keep myself going, to give myself decent chance of a good night's sleep. And actually, like this week alone, I just said one day, I've just got to I'm going to scratch everything else with just 3 jobs. And even if I do one of them, and actually just stopping and giving yourself that monotasking sort of message is quite, sort of monotasking. It's quite liberating, because then I could actually just stop, do that task, and I knocked it off, and then I knocked the next one off, and it just felt amazing. And that got me rolling again. But without doing that, I was just in a big whirlwind mess. And it was like, and then I could see how that triggers over into family life and to how I
the guilt and the anxiety
and and it's sort of. But at least now, if you start to pick up on those signs, it's all about awareness. Yes. And you can go, I can see what's happening here. Hang on, take a second. Let me just stop, or be kind to myself, or take something out of the schedule, or as a woman, look where I am in my month, and does that? Okay, that works with that. So okay, give myself a break, and just give yourself a break, and take the pressure off.
That's it. We're so hard on ourselves, aren't we? Really?
We are incredibly hard on ourselves. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We demand we've got high expectations of ourselves. And we're the only people doing it to ourselves.
And if we do, because if somebody said do that to somebody else, you just wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't be that mean to other people.
No, you wouldn't. You'd cut them some slack. You'd go, don't worry about it.
That's right.
You say it to your friends. You would say it to your friends all the time. Don't worry about it. I don't know. No, that's fine. Yeah. It's a bit of an interesting mind game.
It sure is. Oh well, thank you, Charlotte. And I couldn't make the first one. I can't make the next one. But when I'm coming. But Katie Abbott is going to be there from Team ReCooper8 is coming to your next one.
Awesome.
It will be tremendous. And I look forward to catching up with you, hopefully before I go away, but also, seeing what you're doing on Facebook, because we're all connected all the time now. So this is good.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Thank you so much. You've been wonderful and a fabulous last-minute phone call. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Have a lovely evening. Have a good night's sleep, and good luck with your preparations for the 22nd.
Thank you so much. And 25th.
25th, sorry.
It's okay. You have a fabulous holiday, and lovely speaking to you, ladies.
Oh, thank you, dude. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
Looking forward to that. It's gonna...
Yeah, tremendous.
Tea with a slice of nice, as we miscalled it.
Absolutely.
Before, but it is going to be nice. A nice slice of life.
It's going to be tremendous. And, such a mindful person, and just really good person to talk to, actually, about all those kind of things. Music.
Yes.
Music and dancing. La, la, la,
this is too long. I do love Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel, but it's rather long. that okay?
No, I think it's a great choice.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second, please, caller. That was great. Yeah. I could do my face trumpet. Right, tell me if this sounds like a trumpet. I can't now because I'm laughing. Oh, hang on. I can't do it. My face won't go into the trumpet shape. Do you think?
Sort
Oh,
of.
you can do it too, though.
Not really. Aidan was doing, because Mark got a drone for his birthday.
Did he?
His 50th birthday.
50.
And they'd been flying, and Aidan was making the sound of the drone. And we thought it was the drone flying. It was very realistic
Wow.
drone noise.
Can you do it?
No.
Oh. Can you?
It requires young and supple lips. Disgusting.
Jesus Christ. So, who am I doing?
I don't know.
Don't give up.
If you want to.
Yes, I do.
We can do Romeo and Juliet, which is also another of my formative teenage tracks.
Well, let's
which
do-
I first heard. I went to when Dire Straits came. It was the first concert my dad ever took to.
Dire Straits.
Came to New Zealand.
Far out. That is cool.
It was epic.
That's so
and that was
uncool.
at
It's
the
cool.
old athletic park in Wellington and Newtown, which has
Wow.
now been taken down, and there's a retirement village on top of it.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing, but I cried because it was so loud.
Wow.
So I feel
Cried in
that-
a good way?
No, I cried
Oh.
in a like my ears are hurting way.
Oh, yeah.
But it was very good. And I remember Mark Knopfler and his steel guitar.
Oh, Knopfler. Just love the fact it's got
Knopfler.
all those
And I got Brothers
consonants
in
in it.
Arms on
Oh, yeah.
vinyl for that Christmas.
Money for nothing and my chicks for free.
Yeah. And but
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet, best song ever.
Yeah.
Except this one isn't them. It's covered by the Indigo Girls, who I
Right.
also really like.
Right.
So you can play that one if you want. That's
Well, no,
shorter.
I think Don't Give Up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my first choice. And after this, we're going to talk Shakti mats.
Shakti Mats. Shakti.
Shakti. Is it Shakti or
Shakti.
Shakti?
Shakti.
Shakti. If you were selling them off the back of a lorry in London,
Well,
it would be
Shakti mat.
Shakti mats, isn't it? It's probably rhyming slang for something.
Yeah. Yeah, could be. We better check that.
Mm.
We've got 6 minutes to do that.
Are we going? Are we going?
No, that's how long the song is.
Oh, really?
That's what I mean.
Oh, get yourselves a cup of tea.
Because that's why they said they wouldn't play Beatles' Hey Jude.
Oh,
Remember?
no.
I think
Who?
that's really long. Well, you know.
People.
Have you? Oh, that's the film I want to see. Is Yesterday. Have you seen the?
Yes.
That looks really cool.
Is that the late? Oh no, that's the new thing,
Where
isn't
the guy
it?
has an accident and
Yes.
everyone in the world
It's gone back.
has the Beatles never existed.
That's right. It
and
does
he
look
starts
very
playing all
good.
their songs and then becomes
Mega.
mega famous.
It does look really good, that film.
It's what's his face Curtis dude from Love Actually.
It'll be great
So
then.
he's very good.
Another great film I saw. Sorry, before we go to Don't Give Up. Aladdin. The new Aladdin, the
Oh,
live action
yes.
Aladdin.
Yes.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah. No.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's been done once by the great Robin Williams. Doesn't need to be done again.
Well, I don't know. I thought they did a lovely job.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't take anything away from Robin Williams'
Okay.
epic performance.
Okay.
I'll play a track. We don't want to fall out, do we?
No, not before you go away.
Oh, look, now my phone's gone off. Hang on. Right, here we are.
Hey Jude. I want to see how long Hey Jude is now.
You look it up.
It's 8:10. 8 minutes 10.
Should we talk over this? Or
No,
should
no, I'll be quiet now. Off you go.
wish my name, but no one wants you when you lose.
Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. Don't give up, you're not beaten yet. Don't give up, I know you can make it good.
Though I saw it all around, never thought that I could be a faintant. Thought that we'd be last to go. It is so strange the way things turn. Drove the night toward my home, the place that I was born, on the lakeside. As daylight broke, I saw the earth, the trees had burned down to the ground.
Don't give up, you still have us. Don't give up, we don't need much of anything.
going to put the mic on while it noodles to the end. Noodly, noodly, noodly.
Some people don't like that.
I know.
I'm
not some people. Oh, I'll just turn it off. Welcome back. This is ReCooper8, a rather hilarious edition with Lucy and Katie. Katie's back. That's why we're so giddy. We're very giddy. Now, ReCooper8 was sponsored by the Top Pub. But we're not anymore. We're not. But it was amazing being sponsored by them, wasn't it? How long was it? It was a long time.
It was a long time.
It was a long time. So thank you so much, Tony and Ursula at the Top Pub. So we're looking for a new sponsor. If you liked what you've heard,
maybe tonight's not the night to ask that.
Maybe it isn't.
Maybe you should look upon your trip as an international search.
Oh yeah,
for sponsors.
Yeah. I could, yeah.
Someone who wants a voice in rural New Zealand.
That's right. Yeah, all right.
Perhaps we'll ask Mr. Cameron in your absence.
Good idea. You mean Mr. Cameron. Sounds like a great idea. Yeah, we need some bling to go with this show.
Yeah.
We need, I mean, not saying that the Top Pub wasn't bling. It was bling. We need more bling. We need additional bling. Anyway, so if you're listening and you have, I don't know how much we cost.
We're not that expensive.
No, we're not expensive. I mean, what's the usual thing?
We're cheap.
It's a cup of coffee. It's a cup of coffee twice a day, every day for the rest of your life. And, with almond milk and, an extra shot of something, to just bump up the price.
Yeah, and a liqueur flavour.
Yeah.
And gold sprinkles.
And in a stainless steel cup.
No, porcelain cup with gold trim.
I got. I don't know if you saw that news article about the Wellington Zoo cafe with their new reusable cups.
Oh no!
And that's why I went to Wellington Zoo at the weekend, was to get my cup.
Oh,
stainless steel, very nice.
Oh,
bit hot.
I like going that cafe and watching the meerkats.
Oh yeah. What, the meerkats by? Up that
in the window, the cafe, the zoo.
Really?
Yeah.
What, the main cafe?
Yeah. Where were you sitting? There's a whole giant window that looks into one of the meerkat enclosures.
Really?
Yeah. And they run around and sit up in that cute way and
it's
look
cute,
at
isn't
you
it?
While you drink your coffee.
Going, help me. Let me out.
Let me out. Give me that caffeine.
Actually, the one thing I noticed about the zoo this time is, so they have signed up to this kind of 5 domains of well-being for animal welfare. Oh. And they're doing a really good job of, so it's like nutrition,
activity.
Activity.
Or mental stimulation.
Yeah, all those. I mean, it's domains that's like 3 already. Nutrition, exercise, habitat or environment, and a couple of other things. Yeah. And it's just really very well explained. And so all of the animals now have, kind of information boards around those 5 domains. And they're doing a lovely job. I mean, it is a lovely zoo.
It is nice.
I know zoos are difficult for some people, and I've always found them quite challenging, but as I've got older, zoos are getting better. So that's one of the benefits of age. Zoos are getting better. Anyway, we were going to talk about Shakti mats. Shakti mats. Yeah. We've both got one. We discovered. I had a suspicion you'd be a Shakti mat girl, Katie.
Did you?
When I first saw
what
you,
gave it away.
The holes all over your body. The fact you were bleeding from every orifice. No, sorry, honestly. I really love my Shakti mat, but flipping heck, it can be quite confronting, can't it, that experience? So for those uninitiated, a Shakti mat works on acupressure. So it's basically, it's like the bed of nails principle, but it's a handy roll-up foam mat that you can travel with.
That's your bag of happy. Have you got the bag that it came in?
No, it didn't come in a bag.
Oh, didn't it?
No.
Mine came in a shoulder bag.
Shit, really?
That says a bag of happy on it.
Oh, I might have thrown the bag it came away.
No, it's like a full-on bag with straps.
No, it didn't come with the bag. Did you pay extra for the bag?
No, I don't think so. But I was an early adopter, so maybe.
Oh, yeah. They'll have trimmed back. That's it.
So,
You were an early adopter. When did you get yours?
Oh, I've had it for 4 years.
Far out.
Yeah.
It's like me and my moon cup. I've had my moon cup for 14 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe longer, 20 years. How long have I known Jez?
I don't know.
Very long time. Very long time. Nice man. Yeah. So So there you are. 4 years. How did you find out about Shakti Mat? And tell us what it is.
I can't remember how I found out about it. I think someone I knew was trying it. And so it's a mat that's made with plastic spikes, well, the kind of circular plastic spikes, and you can get different grades and different intensities. So the mats for beginners or people who have sensitive skin or not sure of their pain tolerance level can start off on the beginner mats, which have weirdly counterintuitively more spikes.
That's right, they do. That's right. Yes.
So that because I think it's something to do with spreading the load,
dissipating.
And, dissipating the pain. I'm not making them sound good, but they are cool.
Yeah, they're very cool. We'll get to the cool bit. Yeah.
And then as you want more higher intensity, then you can go up to it's a black mat, which has hardly got any spikes on it at all. So you're concentrated where it's hitting the spot is quite intense.
And it's acupressure, isn't it? Not acupuncture.
No, it doesn't puncture anything, as you misled our listeners.
No, I did. No, it doesn't. That was funny though.
It supports circulation and relaxation.
It does. And it is insanely relaxing.
It is.
And that again is counterintuitive because as you roll your, so I lie on mine. My whole
some
back.
people do it whole back. Some people roll and put it under their necks.
Or
some people do it on their tummies. Really?
Yeah, I've seen some videos.
I stand on mine quite often.
Oh, do you? I can't manage that yet.
When I'm cooking and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
You are hardcore.
But I don't think I could stand on the intense.
No, maybe not. I liken it to swimming in cold water.
Yes,
that's what it feels like. As you lie back, it's kind of, oh God, I might die, and then suddenly something happens, and your body sort of just lets go. It's incredible. I'm going to take mine to England with me and get everybody to have a go.
Yes,
I have a little bit of all my friends and family left on my mat.
So it's Shakti Mat. We don't have been paid to endorse or anything, but
if you do want to sponsor us.
Shakti Mat. Oh, that'd be cool.
Wouldn't it? We'd have to smarten up our act.
But they're all they're handmade and with ethical, made ethically by women in Varanasi in India in a ethical manufacturing shop, and they use 100% organic cotton.
They are beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's funny, Isla can't even watch me be on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she just thinks I'm being hurt. But Flo's like, oh, Mum, how good is that?
It's just for if you have tension in your shoulders, your back, or anywhere. Yeah. And you can, when you first start using it, did you feel the blood it throbs, but not in a bad way, like in a blood rushing to the area way.
Yeah. And when you get up off your mat,
if you just tuned in, it throbs. Anyway.
But it does throb though, doesn't it?
It does.
And then it kind of it's like a crystalline feeling. It feels like you're kind of being released. And if you really it wants you to relax, and so I find little bits of tension, and I just kind of go, give yourself to the mat.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. It's a little bit addictive, I've got to say.
Yeah.
But that and shoulder hooping and chest hooping would be my three top safe addictions.
Okay. Cool.
If that's all right.
That's all right.
If anyone was asking. Oh,
You've got the orange one.
I do have the orange one, that's right. Yep. Is that for...
Yeah, I think they're $70 or around that mark.
$69, I think. Yeah. Came very fast in the post.
You can get a Shakti Mat All Blacks edition for $89.
Nice, because I think the team uses it.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. I would thoroughly recommend.
It's the official All Blacks Shakti Mat. It's so funny.
Yeah, look at all those beefy young men.
So deep and restful sleep. I do mine at night, and I do sleep well.
Oh, same. And also for... Well, any kind of muscle tension. I've read comments on the Facebook page. Facebook page is excellent. It's very lively. Kind of like chronic pain and things like that. It's helping people with. Really, really, I'd be happy to bring mine in October. What have you found? You look perturbed.
I'm just looking there's light for starters, and then you can go up different colours to But the black isn't the worst.
No.
I mean, not the worst, the hardest.
The most intense?
Yeah.
What is the most intense?
There's a purple one called Shakti Matte Advanced.
Oh.
And they do pillows and they do actual pillows and rolls now.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, because otherwise I have to roll mine up.
Yeah, but you can roll a mat up.
Yeah. Well, there you are. Shakti Matte.
Yeah.
Right. What now? Oh, I know. I've got some stuff.
Okay.
It's National Volunteers Week.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it really is the week to celebrate all the volunteers in your life, and if you are a volunteer, then celebrate thyself because you was freaking awesome. And I did. Do you mind if I play something I did?
No.
So I did a nice little. I was very fortunate to be asked to come along to an afternoon tea hosted by Good Bitches Baking, Wairarapa chapter, and Hospice Wairarapa, and it was lovely. And it was really just a way of Good Bitches Baking thanking Hospice for being one of their recipients for their amazing baking. So Good Bitches Baking is a volunteer network across New Zealand. I think they've got 2,000 volunteer bakers now. Are you yet? Oh, you bought some cards.
No, yeah.
Are you? No. It's on a to-do list.
It's on my to-do list. I wish you hadn't mentioned that.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just I thought we'd... how will I ever recover? How can you ever forgive me? And Good Bitches Baking, it's volunteers, bakers all over New Zealand, and they bake a couple of times a month or once a week, whatever your intensity level, what Shakti mat of baking you're on. And then there are designated recipients in the community, and Hospice Wairarapa is one of those. And it was a lovely afternoon tea. It was on a really hot day, I'm remembering now. And I was a bit flustered. I was meant to be doing photography and audio interviews, and I forgot to bring my recording equipment. My iPhone was on like 0%, and I hadn't quite contemplated just how bad the light was going to be in the hospice. But we muddled through, and if anything, it was one of those experiences that has turned out really nice in the end. In terms of a product, I've just done like a little slideshow with audio interviews popped in, and you can get that on the ReCooper8 Facebook page, just celebrating Good Bitches Baking Hospice Wairarapa. And anyway, here, the point of all this is, 1 second, I've just got to plug in my laptop. I did interviews with the manager of Hospice Wairarapa, the then volunteer manager, and also a volunteer of Good Bitches Baking, and that's what I'm going to play. Is my little chat. It's very brief, won't keep you long. And it's my interview with Karen, who is a Good Bitches Baker volunteer. What have I done with it? Hang on a minute. Oh, here we are. Right, hang on. This could take a while. Oh, hang on, and don't start yet. Oh, hang on. Let's see how this goes. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, I've got the wrong thing on. I'm so sorry, everybody. Amateur. Hang on. So this is Karen. This is going to be Karen. Karen, here we go. Karen.
My name's Karen, and I don't know how long I've been baking. Probably 3, 4, 2. More than two. Could be 3 or 4.
For GBB?
Yeah.
Right, got it.
Yeah.
And what got you first involved?
I don't know. I think I read it somewhere online or something, and then, probably if it was called, a volunteer baking group, it wouldn't have struck me, but because it was called Good Bitches, I was like, oh, what's that about?
Right. So you were attracted by the name,
yeah,
and thought it kind of had a bit of oomph about it.
Yeah, and it might have been at the time there was something, in the papers or something.
Right.
I can't remember. So I just contacted them and said I'd be willing to bake.
And so what does your involvement as a good bitch look like?
I just bake once a month.
Right.
Like some people do it once a week.
Okay.
But I didn't want it to be, oh God, what a chore. Because I am busy. Everyone's busy.
Yeah.
Everyone's busy, but I'm a manager at sports teams and at work, so I thought like, that's something I could do, and I would like to do something for my community.
And what have you got a favourite kind of thing that you like to bake? Do you bake the same thing every month?
No.
Oh, okay. What makes you...
It depends who I'm baking for. Like if it's for the food bank, I'll do biscuits or something that can be shared out, or if it's for hospice, I try to think, what would be really nice, and like a nice dish or whatever. Like at Christmas, I've made little Christmas trees, with biscuits and a wreath with biscuits. And this year it wasn't that. I made Christmas cake and mince pies, but they're my favourites. So I thought, I'll try that.
Absolutely.
So that was Karen. She was awesome. She didn't really want to be interviewed. I coaxed it out of her. And she was a lovely lady. And it was funny because, so Karen was all over the name, Good Bitches Baking, like a rash. But the hospice staff couldn't bring themselves to say it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just called them the GBB girls. Oh. And it was funny. Yeah, they said, if actually one of the interviews, I didn't use it in the material. She goes, if only they could call themselves something else. I was going, what, you don't like the name? She goes, oh no, I can't say Good Bitches. It was so cute. So if you head on over to ReCooper8 on Facebook, then you can find it's an Adobe Spark presentation. So it's got some of my photographs, some of Good Bitches photographs, and 3 interviews, or maybe 4, and it would just talk you through what the Hospice Wairarapa does and how they rely on volunteers, and also Good Bitches. So it's it was a very nice jaunt. I do like doing my audio stuff, and I always forget that I like it until I have to do it, and then I go, oh, that's right, I enjoy this, don't I? Anyway, so we did say that we could go home early, didn't we? If we fluffed up. It's going to be interesting not being around for a few months.
Yes, but you might do some dispatches from your ravaged country.
Yeah, that's right. Dispatches from Brexit land. I think I might. Yeah, just see who I come across, and because that interview was done with an iPhone. Oh. And the quality was all right.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to worry about taking anything fancy. I'll just use that.
Leave it here for me.
Yeah, that's right. You need it, eh? So yeah, so we're going to Bangkok, England, all over England, and then down to Calais and Paris and the Loire Valley and the Atlantic.
Paris will be sad to see.
Oh, the Notre Dame.
Because aren't you camping in one of the inner city campgrounds?
Yeah, really looking forward to that.
Intriguing.
Very. It's kind of glamping.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Yeah, we'll see Notre Dame. It's such a shame. I really wanted my kids to see it. But apparently they had their first mass since the tragedy, and only 30 people were allowed in. So I don't know how they picked those, but dignitaries, I guess.
Yeah.
And their first mass. So that's good. So it's not completely, all over. I want to thank you, Katie, for just being bloody good egg. Just a bloody awesome person.
Oh, thanks, mate.
And I've really enjoyed this evening. It's been a right giggle. And I want to thank all, let's count them, 6 of you watching currently on Facebook Live. Yes, I said 6, not 16 or 60, but hope springs to. No, thank you. Obviously, we're very grateful to anybody who tunes in it whatever way you would like to, because this is podcastable as well. You can go onto iTunes, and it's bumped up to 8.
Oh,
I see. And you can download it as a podcast either from iTunes or from Arrow FM, and then you can watch again on Wairarapa TV and on YouTube. Depending on the rights issues, honestly, YouTube and Facebook. So what Facebook will do to this live video is mute a whole bunch of stuff, all the songs, but they mash that up as well. So they kind of mute a load of voice as well. So it's really annoying, but but you can download the whole podcast from iTunes, because at the minute they don't care. Get in, boots and all. It's been wonderful, hasn't it?
Yes.
Should we say goodbye?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to go out on music or just say goodbye?
Well, it's hard to go out on music because yeah. I think.
Okay.
Well, we could try, couldn't we? I mean, there's no harm. No? Okay.
Bon voyage, Lucy.
Oh, thanks, Katie. And I'm looking forward to coming back in October. We'll have a little meeting, I think, me and you.
Yes.
Treat ourselves to dinner.
Yes.
And plan 3 months in advance.
Excellent.
And not 3 minutes.
No.
All right. Love you all. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, and take care. Goodbye.
Bye.
I find it so hard to say goodbye.
I know, it's hard, isn't it?
Bye then. Bye.
Sorry. Maybe sorry.
Bye. Oh, yeah. And so there's 10 people watching now. Yes, you can't come along, Johnny come latelys. Okay. Bye then, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye then. Goodbye.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Oh, you.